I had not heard of this case before. The video comes from Red Tree Crime. It's kind of like a JCS-inspired interrogation channel, but what is very interesting about this one is that this guy, Joshua, apparently not only hates his mom, but he's the #1 suspect in her murder. This video really focuses on how the cops extract not only his confession, but why he dislikes his mother so much.
This is 18-year-old Joshua Carmona. In March of 2017, Joshua's mother was found unresponsive in her home in what appeared to be an obvious homicide. While the police investigated the crime, they would see Joshua driving around in his mother's car. After initiating a traffic stop, the police began questioning Joshua. What he told them was shocking.
So you know, man, this room is audio and video recorded. Just so you know, I'm going to turn this on as just a backup. just so, and the reason why we do that is just so I can't put any words in your mouth, okay?
Okay.
Do you take any medications or anything?
No, sir.
No?
All right, wow, we're going straight to it. Knocking the medications off the table. You guys know sometimes the cops, they'll ask a few questions that seem subtle, not a big deal, but they are immediately taking certain conditions or certain things off the table they might try to attribute the crime to later.
Drugs?
Yes.
What kind of drugs do you do? You do spice?
I think so.
You think so?
I think it's why I was so much more paranoid.
Okay. When was the last time you did that?
Today.
Today? What time?
4 or 5.
4 or 5? Okay. How are you feeling right now?
I'm still coming down.
Still coming down? Okay.
Like
Do you know where you are right now?
I'm up. Yeah, I know. Right.
Where are you?
I'm in the detective's office.
You're in the sheriff's office?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what year it is?
Cohesive.
2017.
Okay.
Present.
And the reason why I'm asking you these questions is that I want to make sure that you're okay to talk to me, okay?
Yes, sir.
And that you seem like you are. It seems like you're a little quiet right now and everything.
But I know what's going on.
Okay. Well.
After making sure that Joshua is aware of what is going on around him,
Yes.
and then reading him his rights, they ask him to explain the events that happened earlier that day. Without hesitation, Joshua gets right to the point.
Honestly, I just want to know what happened tonight, man. But what happened today?
Today I woke up and I decided I killed today.
Okay.
That was me.
Okay. Why did you kill?
Straight up confession, eye contact.
There was a lot of reasons.
Okay. Well, Josh.
I just want to point this out. Something I find very interesting is when he says to him, I killed my mother today, he makes direct eye contact. There's kind of 2 ways, sometimes 3 or 4, whatever ways people do this, but predominantly it would be looking directly at the person when they say it, sometimes trying to gauge the reaction. How do you respond when I say, I killed my mother today? Or there could be this guilt or fake guilt where they look at the ground and they say, I killed my mother. But the fact that he made direct eye contact with the officer says something about his personality, which I'm sure the investigators will piece together over time because that's a big piece of information.
I have all.
There was a lot of reasons.
Okay. Well, Josh, I have all the time in the world, and
Do you want to talk about it?
I do.
I'll talk to you about the story.
Yeah,
What
I do.
Okay.
Okay. Well, there's a lot. You want me to start with when I first started having these, like thinking about this and starting getting high?
Joshua, I want you to tell me whatever you feel comfortable telling me.
That's what I'm trying to say. I
Yeah.
felt comfortable.
So
there.
whatever you feel like comfortable to tell me, because I want to listen to you. Okay?
Okay. Sometimes I had this plan because I knew part of me hated them. Like, okay, it's me, my stepdad, and my little sister in the house. And I don't know if I'm ready to do this right now.
Bitch, you just said you were. Sorry, I'm a little annoyed because just then he said, well, I've always kind of had this plan and, I've always hated them. Chat, raise your hand if you hate somebody or if at some period in your life you've hated somebody in your family. Like whether it was for months or years. Usually it's for years, right? Take a number, buddy. We don't just like fucking hate our sister and then I'm going to go buy a gun. Like that's so, what?
I don't know if I'm ready to do this right now.
Well, when did this all start for you?
Also, I'm sorry, just personally, my mantra is I feel like I stopped hating people sometime in, 2015. You know how much energy that takes out of you? Like, I prefer to move on to my personal favorite method, which is just completely forgetting that you existed. That's what I do. Keep it moving. Doesn't matter if you were like very close to me, family member, grew up with you. I don't know. You do something terrible and poof, you're gone. And this guy's over here like, I've got a plan. Like, I can't. This is why I usually cover female killers because I'm so annoyed.
I don't know if I'm ready to do this right now.
Well, when did this all start for you? It sounds like there's been some things that you've been thinking about for a while. It doesn't seem like just a, one moment it all happened, right?
Like, I've recently got out of prison in jail for DUI. And
yeah, he really escalated that once again while making eye contact with the officer. I'm sorry, recently getting out of prison and recently getting out of jail for a DUI are two different things.
Getting ready for DUI, and I was getting ready for a court date in April in Pennsylvania, and instead of like getting ready for that, I was just thinking maybe I should quit, maybe I should give up and just try and run away, get high, and just avoid that.
I just want to stop. You had said that you weren't ready. Do you want to continue talking to us?
I am.
Okay.
The plan was to go do something like that, like where I'm just really high. And what I did was I went after to get.
This case begins back in 1998 when Joshua's mother, who was only a teenager, gave birth to him.
Oh.
Shortly after he was born, Joshua was given to his grandparents because his mother believed that she was unable to care for him,
Okay.
and his father was nowhere to be found. Joshua would stay with his grandparents until he was 11 years old, and then he would go back to live with his mother.
That I was thinking about that led me to do this was I was blaming for not being there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just held it in. I hated her for that. And we were just not talking about it because of me. Because I was just going out late, not being sober, ruining that. And I think it kind of worked together. Like I was gone from the house more.
Raise your hand if your parents didn't pick you, whether they picked drugs, power, control, another partner, another family. What in the chat if it happened? Like, I just can't. I'm like, guys. And how many of you guys just got left in foster care or emotionally abandoned or abused? You got to live with grandpa until you were 11, and then mom was like, hey, I'm sober, you can come back now. By his own words, his own story.
It kind of worked together. Like I was gone from the house more, just getting high. They noticed I wasn't there, and we just stopped talking after that, and that's when I started. I'd been thinking about this like for a while.
When you say thinking about this, what do you mean by that?
That's a good question. I've been thinking about harming.
When you decide to make your, hold on.
What do you mean by that?
That's a good question. I've been thinking about harming my parents.
So not just your stepdad too?
Mm-hmm.
When you decide to make your entire life story about getting revenge on your parents and what they did or didn't do for you, I mean, you're basically just taking your story from the beginning and then just connecting it to the end, and that's it. That's your life story. Like, I know it's hard. It hurts when you're a teenager, when you're in your early 20s. Trust me, I've been there. I've been through it. Bitch, it's brutal. It hurts, okay? But so many of us have had to swallow that pill and get more friends, drink a bunch of alcohol, have some shitty jobs. I don't know, have some fucked up relationships, whatever, you know? But like, can you tell my empathy's a little low on this one? How's yours?
That was the...
So not just your stepdad too?
Mm-hmm. That was what I was originally gonna do today.
Okay.
Well, what is that?
I was...
Let's start from the beginning, man. How did you do it? What did you do?
Dude, even his posture is annoying me.
I snuck up on her. And I used a bat.
What did you do with the bat?
That edgelord posture is
what
just...
you saw.
We haven't really been in the
decided
house
to
too
ruin
much, so
everything.
just you know, can you take me through how you did it?
I don't want to talk about that part.
Okay, that's fine. That's if you don't want to talk about that, that's fine.
That was the worst.
That was what?
That was the worst thing I did.
Okay.
Okay.
I made a lot of mistakes, but that part wasn't really. It didn't add up, and it was. I did something so bad. I just don't.
Okay.
Want to
Let me.
say it.
Can I ask you this?
I killed her.
Okay, we
I
know.
know.
Okay.
Okay.
I killed her.
I know. Okay. What I would like to know is, where's the bat?
It was in the house.
It's in the house.
Mhm.
Okay.
I left everything in the house.
Okay. What other? Did you use anything else?
Like I was cleaning up the carpet.
Uh-huh.
I didn't use it. Well, there was a knife too,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I didn't really use it.
Okay.
Even though Joshua and his mother shared a home, he felt like he didn't belong. His mother spoke often about having to raise a child she never really wanted. In 2012, his mother would marry her boyfriend and have a daughter with him. The emotional distance between Joshua and his mother would continue to grow. Joshua would watch as his mother and stepfather would nurture his half-sister in a way his mother never did for him.
It's very painful.
Josh,
It's very painful.
Obviously,
Get a job.
There's some things, and you feel you talk to me about. I'd like you to talk to me about whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, I'm not going to force you to talk to me.
You want to know what happened?
Yeah, but I'd like to be able to explain it somehow to whoever's surviving here. Okay.
That's the thing.
Well, let me ask you this, Josh. How do you feel? now?
What was that? Oh my god, dude. Oh, this is such a hard one. I thought we were gonna get like a guy that had like some, I don't know.
Well,
Look at him fake cry.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Well, let me ask you this, Josh. How do you feel now that all this is over with? How do you feel now?
Like
What?
about me.
Yeah.
Or about.
Yeah.
You had said that you've been planning this a while.
It's giving like
I feel-
Elliot Rodgers.
I feel like I completely ruined Caitlin's life.
Okay.
I feel like
Obviously,
wow.
there's been some time.
That line,
I feel like I completely.
I feel like I completely ruined my sister's life. I talked about this a little bit before with Koberger and people that have really low empathy or morals and things like that. They love to feel this ownership over people's pain, and they love to feel like they're God in people's lives around the worst thing that happened to them. I do not feel like this guy feels guilt for having ruined his sister's life. I think he's actually bragging here. And I think he almost wants a little confirmation. Like, yeah, yeah, you really ruined your sister's life, because he doesn't love his sister. Remember, the sister is the biological child of his mother and the boyfriend that she married. So he was envious of the sister because he felt like she was getting more balanced love than he ever got. So no, he doesn't feel sad that he, quote, ruined his sister's life. He's actually looking to savor it and feel like now he has ownership over her and her emotions and her story.
I ruined Caitlin's life.
Planned this a while.
I feel like I completely ruined Caitlin's life.
Okay.
Obviously, there's been some tough things that have happened in your life that have led up to this, right? It's not something that you just decided this morning was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about holding some things against your mom that happened to you earlier in life, okay? We're detectives, right? So we detect things, we go out, we gather information, and we've gathered a lot of information today because we were worried about you. We wanted to find you and see if you were okay, all right? In gathering information, we understand that you didn't have the easiest life growing up. It sounds like you didn't have a dad that was around much, and you had a that had an opportunity to be around and chose not to be around.
Huh.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but we want to understand where this started at for you. So when you talk about holding things against her, is that part of it, or are we going back to the fact that she went off and was living her own life?
It was like, that was the justification for it. That's
Okay.
what I was, that's
Okay.
what made me think. She told me.
It's okay. Now's the time for you
Dude,
to
I'm
talk
so
to
tired
us.
of his poses.
When I was a kid and she would visit, all I think about now is when I was a kid and she would visit for like a day or two and then she would leave, and I just remember me crying myself to sleep because I was really sad.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Hey, buddy, guess what? My dad never showed up. And then sometimes, get this one, sometimes he would tell me that he was going to show up, and then he just wouldn't show up, and he would think that it was funny. It wasn't funny. It actually hurt me quite bad. But your mom showed up for 2 fucking days and then left? Like, this is like, dude, anybody else in here, you don't have to share your story, but anybody else in here have like a really fucked up childhood, and like you're just listening to this guy, like, you have to be kidding me. Like, you really have to, while he sits here like in his villain pose. How many times did you kill him? I just talked to that fool the other day. Like, we're still cool. We're still riding. The dude is still alive.
She would leave, and I just remember me crying myself to sleep because I was really sad.
What were you sad about?
Because I came and I was happy for a little bit, but then she was gone again.
Okay.
As his hatred towards his mother grew,
Oh my
Joshua began
God.
experimenting with different drugs. Eventually, his parents would find out.
Holy shit. Goulian operator said, develop a weird fetish. Don't kill somebody. Oh my God. No!
And they would kick him out of their and experimenting with different drugs. Eventually, his parents would find out, and they would kick him out of their home.
Called out right now.
Joshua began living with friends, but he could not stop thinking about his mother and the love she showed her daughter.
Because of our bad relationship, I was still holding that against her too.
What do you mean by your bad relationship?
We didn't talk at all. And when I turned to drugs, we started talking about nothing, never seeing each other. And
So when did you come back to live with
when my grandma died,
and when was that?
in April of 2011,
In April of 2011?
I think so. I was 11, or I don't actually
Okay.
remember what year it was.
Okay, but you think you're about 11 when that happened? And you're how old
I
now?
was in 6th grade,
Okay. And you're how old now?
18.
All right, so we're talking about 7 years ago. And in the last 7 years, have you made any amends about the past? Has she like made any efforts to make amends with you, or?
We've talked a few times, but we didn't talk for years about it until high school. We were just having a normal relationship, and we talked about it, and I opened up to her once, and I asked her about it, but it only happened once.
Okay.
When did you do that?
in sophomore year.
Sophomore year, so just a couple of years ago, 2 years ago or so.
Yeah. It was in high school when my aunt was living with us.
What, how's your relationship with your stepfather?
It's the same thing.
Same thing?
We never talk. I just stay in my room. And when I see him walking around the house, I say nothing to him.
You see nothing with it?
Yeah, we don't really talk. And we sit in silence at dinner. That's the horrible relationship I was talking about.
After Joshua took his mother's life, he took his sister with him so he could drop her off at his grandfather's house. While he waited for his grandfather to get home, he stopped at a park to meet a friend. Joshua would receive a notification on his phone that his grandfather had decided to go to his parents' house instead to pick up his sister. Joshua knew that he had been caught, so he asked his friend to take care of his sister. He then drove around in his mother's car until the police finally found him.
Phone, and you're texting your grandpa? What's his name? Okay.
Yes.
All right, and you make arrangements to meet him, you think, at his house to drop off, is that right? Okay, make sure you correct us if we're not right, because we want to make sure it's right, all right? So then you said something about, but then he comes to your house instead?
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Well, I don't think, he was questioning why I asked him.
Where were you when he showed up to the house?
I was at the park.
At the park?
Mm-hmm.
Who were you with?
With Josh.
With Josh?
With one of my friends. I asked him.
Where were you when he showed up to the house?
I was at the park.
At the park?
Mm-hmm.
Who were you with?
With Josh.
With Josh?
With one of my friends.
Okay.
He's who I left.
Okay.
Okay.
Josh is a good friend. Like I said, like I told you right from the beginning. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He did exactly what you told him to do. He dropped her off.
Okay. Yeah, that wasn't part of the plan at all.
I get it,
just
man.
happened.
I get it. And you know, things do spiral out of control. We understand that. Okay? But keep going with what happened.
Where was it?
Well, so then you're texting
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
from your phone to arrange to meet him at his house to drop off,
Mm-hmm.
but you're at the park with Josh.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what happens next?
And I knew he came to my house because I could see it on my phone. The
Okay.
door was opened.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have cameras, like you can pull it up on the app?
We have a security thing on the app, and I
Okay.
knew at that point it was over
Why is that?
because
Oh.
there was still some on the carpet.
Okay. So at that point, you had already killed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They have Joshua confessing to the crime, but what they don't have is details. Details help prove that not only was Joshua there, but he was in fact the person who committed the crime.
Oh.
Now they will ask Joshua to explain in more detail exactly what happened when his mother came home.
So if
then
it's
what
vague,
happens
he
when
can
she
change
comes
his
home?
story later.
I told her to go look at something. I was standing in the kitchen.
It's okay.
Josh, it looks like there's a weight on your shoulders. Talking about this might lift that weight off your shoulders. It might.
I feel like that tactic doesn't work with this guy.
And again, I don't want to.
Dude, I just gotta. This is gonna be so specific, but somebody's gonna agree with me here. When he uses this tactic, Josh, it looks like there's a weight on your shoulders. This tactic would not work with this guy because this guy is proud of what he did and he's very fucking corny. Okay, but what happens is after the officer does something to try to elicit guilt or reflection, he emulates guilt and reflection. Just watch.
Josh, it looks like there's a weight on your shoulders. Talking about this might lift that weight off your shoulders. It might.
He has no guilt. He has no guilt.
And again, I don't want to.
And also that line, when somebody looks down at the ground and like wrings her hands and is like really like just feeling bad, that line is so incongruent. I already admitted to it. That's not what you say when you're like hanging your head and feeling guilty. You know what I mean?
Beat a dead horse here, but like I said, we before, and it's up to you if you want to keep talking to us or not.
She comes in and I say,
Fake crying again.
I hit before she came, I hit the staircase with the bat, so it was chipped. I was standing in the kitchen with the bat, and she came around the counter to look at it because I told her. And I grabbed it and just hit her
Where'd you hit her?
in the head,
Okay.
and she fell down. But she wasn't out, and so I just kept hitting her until she stopped.
Okay.
Okay.
They've
Was
got
she
the
fighting with you at all?
details.
Was there like a struggle?
No.
Did one of the legs on one of the tables like break, or is that?
She fell on the table.
Okay. And do you remember that happening and breaking the table or something?
She just went against it, and the table got bent because of that.
Okay.
I got a question. Guys, after watching this so far for about 15 minutes, what do you think of this guy? What emotion do you think that he's actually feeling right now? Okay, we've got secret joy, nothing, pride, annoyance, callousness, self-pity. I think that secret joy, the pride, emptiness, gratification, fear for himself, validation. I think he's seeking a little validation from the officers. He wants that. We talked about it a little bit in the Koberger video. They want to, they want a little attention. They want to feel self-felation. You're not wrong. I do agree with that. Regret that he got caught. Righteous. Likes the attention. Yeah, I think so.
Where's that? Because I haven't been in there. Where's that table in the room?
The counter's here, and she walks around it, and the table's here.
Okay. Are we in the living room or the kitchen or something else?
This is the kitchen, and it opens up into the living room, and the
Okay.
dining area, the living room,
And so the table you're talking about is in which room?
the dining area.
Okay. So she fell into it. And this is while she was still like kind of on her feet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then you pulled her, how did you get her into the bathroom?
I rolled her onto sheets and just dragged it.
Okay. Is she dead at that point, or do you know?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you know that she's dead then? I know that might sound like dumb questions, but I'm asking you because I'm not there right now. And when we go to the house, then it'll help us to understand everything that we see, whether it lines up with what you're saying, right? So how did you know at that point she's dead? Did you check for a pulse or anything like that?
I checked to see if she was breathing
How'd you do it?
on her back.
On her back? You were feeling for like a pulse, or you were seeing if her chest rose?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So then
They're
you
just
had her in
getting
the
so
sheet,
much
you pulled her into the
information out of
bathroom,
him.
and then what happened?
And then I turned on the fan and just closed it, and then I started pouring baking soda on the rug and trying to clean all the blood.
Okay. Because are you waiting for your stepdad to come home?
Mhm.
All right. So then what's your plan after you've got in the bathroom? And then what was the rest of the plan for the day?
It was to give cash so I could take the car
So how are you going to get cash?
with her cards.
Okay.
Do you know her PIN numbers?
BOZE, why do you think he confessed so quickly? Because I think he's proud of what he did. I think that he wants attention and credit for it. And I don't think this was just like a rageful murder. I think it was one of those, I control you, I'm your God type of murders, because he kept his sister alive, or that's the way he sees it, and his stepdad is still alive. So he's like, I'm going to take away the important person to you, vent my rage, and now you guys have to suffer, and I did it. Ha 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 ha. I think that's what he thinks. And 10 or 20 years from now, he's going to realize that none of this matters and he's in jail for life. Like,
I figured
I mean, his origin story was not that bad.
How'd you do that?
it was on her phone.
There is very strong evidence that the lack of nurturing care of a young child has a lifetime impact on them. Studies have shown that
Yeah, we
infants
know.
raised
We're
by nurturing
here.
parents have far less anxiety, insecurity, and alcohol abuse. They also found that they are more likely to have successful careers. The opposite is true for infants who receive little to no nurturing. They struggle to form deep and lasting relationships.
Chat.
They have a higher chance of resorting to violence and substance abuse to resolve their problems.
Who?
My dealer.
All right, what does he deal?
The spice.
You get spice from him too? Because at this point, you haven't taken anything yet today?
No.
Okay, and last night, did you?
Last night, I just went to bed. What was gonna happen was I had to go do my monthly parole for Georgia and go get an appointment with my doctor this week. And so I was deciding between quitting and doing this or doing everything I have to do
Okay.
and getting ready to
See-
go through probation, go to the hearing in April, and talk to my therapist.
Okay. So you feel like you're deciding between,
I tried to make it a choice
Mhm.
between those two.
like, do I kill my stepdad and try to run for the hills and get away from everything? Or do I follow through with what I need to do, go to court, face the consequences? Okay. So those you felt like are kind of your two choices.
Like I made it
I
in my
can't
mind.
even.
I was like, today we're going to decide, because I was pinning them against each other,
Mm.
and I was like, today we're going to decide what we do. And so I went to bed that night thinking about it, and I woke up.
Dude, this guy really genuinely thinks he's Mr. Evil. And like, I hate to even like make this point, but if he had just shut the fuck up and like never explained how, why, or what his thought process was, they'd be like, oh my God. But instead he sat here like a fucking bum, just giving, I can't even, you know what I mean?
Why is today the day you have to decide that?
Because I'm going to go to talk to my therapist tomorrow.
Okay.
I was.
So you haven't done drugs, alcohol, you haven't taken any medications, prescriptions in like the last 3 or 4 days. But this whole weekend you're contemplating, do I do what I need to do and follow through with my probation?
Also, can I just say, if you have a therapist and you have any type of plan in any capacity that has been cycling through your brain for weeks, months, or years, then you are not really doing therapy if you're hiding that plan, no matter what it may be, okay? Like, I've seen that. How many times have you guys seen that? Like a friend that's going to therapy but paying full price to only tell 60% of their thoughts. Why? Like, why? Like, you're there. You're getting a resource that most people don't even get. Fucking use it and tell them the fucked up shit in your head so they can try to help you, because you don't want to do that. All right?
Face the charges up north, or do I take this alternative plan and try to run away from it all? Is that accurate?
Do I try or do I quit?
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
And when did you decide I quit?
I hadn't decided until this morning. And when she was gone, I decided that when she came back, I was just going to try and not think about it and try and do it. And I did.
They now ask Joshua about his mental health and substance abuse. Was this crime done with a clear mind? Does Joshua suffer from mental health problems? The more information they can get from Joshua, the better chance they will have of securing a conviction in court.
I want to ask you kind of a weird question. Do you ever hear voices that you feel like you're hearing that other people around you don't hear?
Yes.
You do? Have you ever talked to your therapist or anybody
he said yes.
about that?
He knows it. He thinks it's from like he said, when I started doing it, that's when I would be seeing. Like I've seen things in public that I knew I shouldn't believe, but that makes me think there's a lot of things I've seen that I wasn't sure about.
Yo, I can't tell you how many times I've seen this before. Guys that literally want to do something really bad and then fake a mental illness, and for some reason in society, guys try to demonize schizophrenia as like, oh, this is the one that's gonna, you know, get me off, right? So many dudes will commit something horrible and then be like, yes, I'm crazy. I have schizophrenia. I hear voices and hallucinations. When, like, if you have actually seen a person that's schizophrenic in like an active episode, it is not even something you can fucking fake with deep research. So many dudes try to get off by claiming like hallucinations or something like that, and they look. Yeah. Someone said, I feel like he just tried to say that, or sorry, I think he just tried to take that as an out. Yeah, but it happens quite frequently. I've had somebody do something crazy to me and then literally say to me, I'm going to get away with it too because I hear voices. I'm not kidding. I've like had that happen to me before. Dudes just do.
That I knew I shouldn't believe, but that makes me think there's a lot of things I've seen that I wasn't sure about.
What do you mean by that?
Like sometimes I'm hallucinating and I hear the radio say something or people in public say something that they shouldn't be able to know. And so I know when I'm on the drug, I hallucinate, but I don't know about how.
So how do you know that you're hallucinating? Because typically someone that is doesn't even realize they're hallucinating,
I think
right?
she should have left this one.
So how are you aware of the fact that you're hallucinating?
Because there was like a small few that I confirmed. Like,
So have you ever, like when this is happening, have you ever said, hey, did you hear that to somebody? Like
all the time.
Yeah.
And I've seen like water on my pants. I see it and I touch it and it's dry. That's what I would notice when I was drinking sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these hallucinations and such that you're talking about, it's when you're high or when you're drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not sober.
Oh, okay.
When I'm not
That
sober.
was actually really good. That was good.
And when you're not sober, okay. When you are sober, then you don't recognize or you're not aware of that stuff. Like you don't remember doing that when you're sober, right?
I get this, like sometimes I'll get the same things where I'm like thinking crazy stuff, contemplating.
As the interrogation comes to an end, the detectives have one last question for Joshua.
Josh, before we kind of wrap this up, I just want to leave it kind of in your court. Are you sorry?
Yes.
Josh, here's the thing. We
always
don't want
looks
you to
at the ground when
manufacture
he's
any feelings
faking
here.
feeling
We don't want you to
guilty.
manufacture an apology or feelings of guilt or remorse, okay? What did I tell you? Part of our job is that we have to read people, right?
If you're not
So-
ready to say something to him, that's fine.
I get
Yeah.
what you want to know.
Well, because, sometimes people feel bad for what they've done, and sometimes they feel bad because they got caught. And it sounds like you had a plan that you didn't get to see all the way through today. It kind of got screwed up on you, And I can understand that might be pissing you off too. Like you finally built up
I'm
the
not
courage.
pissed off.
That's got to be really tough to watch, right? You wanted around in your life, you wanted a dad around in your life, and here she gets to have both. That's not fair.
It's not fair, but I know. I just made excuses, and I tried to blame what happened to me for how I was living. I was making myself depressed.
You know
and
what's
feel like-
crazy? He knows that's actually the correct answer, but I do not believe that he actually feels it. He just knows that's the correct answer.
This, and I tried to blame what happened.
Who are you blaming?
I tried to pin it all on my parents, my grandma, just for where I was raised.
But Josh, it sounds like they took care of you. I mean, they did. It's by your own admission they did. So why all this hatred? Why all this? Why all this?
I don't know. Okay.
Jealousy will tear a person up.
It was.
Oh.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know necessarily this is
Oh
jealousy.
my God, that was so good. So he has this moment where he says the right things, but I just personally do not believe that he actually feels it. He gives the logical, intellectualized version of how he should feel, but then she says it. She literally says it, and it stuns him for a second, and then he ignores it. I really wish, and it's not this guy's fault because he didn't pick up what was happening, but I wish they would have let this land. She said, jealousy will eat a person up, and he doesn't want to acknowledge the emotion. He'll acknowledge the intellectual parts of it, the logical bits, but he won't acknowledge that. Yeah, I'll replay it.
Why all this hatred? Why all this? Why all this? Why all this?
I don't know. Okay.
Jealousy will tear a person up.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't know necessarily.
It doesn't make
Josh.
sense.
I think this is
That's
just
all he could
something
say. You were jealous. She said it right there.
You want it to happen. You want this to happen?
I wanted to run away, but as soon as I did it, I realized what I was doing had nothing to do with that. And I was just doing a horrible thing, pointlessly.
Did you want people to notice you?
Yep.
There was a lot of attention.
You wanted attention.
There was a lot of going for attention, doing things I didn't need to do for attention.
Okay. Well, this is like one of those ultimate things. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to you.
What
They
kind
will.
of
People are going to be paying attention to you now.
I know.
what kind of attention did you think was going to come out of this?
This wasn't about attention.
Well, but you just said it was. Right? I mean, if we're being honest
Dude,
here,
she's calling him
you
out.
just said it was.
I would love to see an interrogation where it's not his little villain f***ing monologue and he's actually just sat in jail for a couple weeks and then somebody's calling him out on the weak emotional aspects of what he did.
So, I mean,
The benefit I thought that would come out of this was just a release from what I did to my life.
Sakura said, I'm way too soft to be an interrogator. Oh yeah, some of y'all wouldn't last the day. I've read the chat messages. Y'all would be like, he's got depression. Let him go.
Besides what I did to my life.
Free him
Besides all
back
the
out into the
problems,
world.
like the legal issues.
sure.
I made myself feel like shit for no reason. And so I wanted to release from all the hard things I had to do and how pointlessly hard I made my life.
Do you feel a release?
No.
Joshua would be found guilty and receive life in prison for his charges.
Oop.
Joshua craved affection from his parents his entire life. He wanted to feel like he belonged. He wanted to feel loved. Perhaps he accepted that his mother was incapable of affection, at least until his sister was born. He would watch as she received the love and affection he always wanted. Do you think that if his mother would have nurtured him from the beginning, that she would still be alive? Or is Joshua just a monster, and if it wasn't his mother, it would be someone else?
Yeah, he's a monster, 100%. It's not his mom's fucking boy.